And we should be live here in a second. Yeah, we're live. Welcome everybody to season 3, episode 10 of the Out of the Draft podcast. We have our full panel here today, and we have a special guest, Hunter. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Excited to be here.
That's
Talk
good.
some NASCAR with you beautiful people.
For sure. And then, of course, Mitch, and then you can introduce yourselves, everybody.
Yeah, glad to be here. Glad for another podcast. Looking forward to welcoming in Hunter so he can get the flow and the groove of everything with us.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Happy to have Hunter with us and have a good podcast tonight.
And Dylan, of course,
here too.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
I was changing
it. Either way, I'm glad that everybody's week go okay since last week. Any special news in your lives?
No.
Not dead yet.
Living. I know you're coming up on a week away, damn near.
Yeah, we got 10 days. 10 days until the wedding. So, and that means 10 days until Dega, baby. That's the big She's like sitting right here, like,
Can I be the flower girl?
Can you be the flower girl?
Yeah.
I'll be your.
I was making a terrible joke.
He's the right age.
I'm close enough.
I was literally about to say something so bad that we would get canceled.
What, he's transitioning?
Something like that. Anyways, first off, if you're watching live, I will say I may not be here the whole time, but the stream and the podcast will continue to go without me, which is totally fine. I'm happy to be here as long as I can. I guess we should start talking about Dirt Bristol.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy week. We had the trucks and the cup cars at Easter Sunday. How was the trucks? What were your thoughts?
Trucks were a shit show, to say the least. A lot of cautions, a lot of just spins that would end up taking out other people. It seemed like a lot of lack of talent out there, honestly. That's what it just looked like. But I don't know. It wasn't all that great. Logano dominated.
Yeah.
That's about it.
He literally led every lap by like 2, right? Something like that.
4, 6, yeah.
I didn't watch it personally, so I didn't get to. I mean, I know he dominated 1, obviously, but I didn't get to look to see who caused a bunch of wrecks. I know Ben Rhodes kind of got into some action early in the race. Maybe I think it was like lap 2.
Lap 2, yeah.
I got a notification on my phone that's the only reason why I know about it. And then Diga was running well until she wasn't. I don't know if that was strategy.
Yeah, I don't know.
ThorSport was fast all around. So.
Yeah, all around they seemed to be by far the class of the field, specifically Logano and Majeski. They were absolutely lights out. But, I don't know. It was really hard to tell. The longest run I think in the trucks we had all night was 13 laps maybe, something around there. So we really never got to see what anyone really had for anything. So I don't know. It could have been – I think if the race had a different complexion, it could have went a whole different way.
I do think Majeski, I think if we had a long run, I think he was better than Logano on the longer side. From the heats, he was catching Logano after about lap 10.
Right.
I don't know if that portrayed in the race or not.
It did. It seemed to. Every single restart, which we had a lot of restarts.
Yeah.
Logano seemed to. I don't know if it's just his truck or. We saw all weekend anyway that one line was better than the other, specifically on the restarts. But Logano's truck just rocketed every single restart. He would get easy 3, 4 car links before they're even to turn 1. It was crazy, but. Around 10 laps in or so, yeah, you would see Majeski start to inch in, close that gap back in, but then we'd get a caution.
Damon, do you have anything to add to the truck race?
No, I did not watch the race. I just knew Joey Logano dominated most of it.
Yeah. I mean, congrats to him. Trucks and Logano hasn't been a big thing.
No, I mean that. I believe that was only his second win.
Yep, second win. His first win came at like Rockingham in like 2014 or something.
Yeah, that was
a track like
that
that.
was a BKR, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I miss that team actually a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
BKR, man, they produced a lot of talent.
I mean, Cindric,
Briscoe.
Cindric, Reddick, Blaney,
yes,
Blaney.
Emmerich.
Austin Terrio, but nobody knows who the fuck that guy is now.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know where he went.
He was solid.
Did he go to Supercross?
He ended up. I don't know. The last I thought, he was the one that had the brain stuff going on, right?
Ooh, was it him?
I know he had a really hard crash
Or am I thinking of a different
Kansas in one of the BKR trucks. He had to go to the hospital for right
or
away.
was that Justin Boston? It might have been Justin Boston.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I cannot remember like past like 20.
Yeah, KVM had a lot of drivers at one point.
He's a politician. He's a politician now.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Austin Terrio. Yeah, I knew that. I actually
Republican Party.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Ain't it like
Wow.
like Rhode Island or Connecticut or something stupid?
Maine.
Maine.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah, something stupid. Exactly. That's my point.
Congrats to him. You're right. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Imagine somebody treats Chase Elliott the way that Kenseth treated Logano.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
That was such an interesting like I
mean, I just saw the picture of Chase there with Stat Boy, so
yeah.
it made me think about it. And I was like, man, it'd be cool to see someone just, treat him like Logano.
Yeah, that would be amazing. A suspension for sure. I can already tell.
It should be with all the penalties going on. That would have to be a suspension.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to go to Dig and go head on to the wall and do it for Dale, man.
Bro.
Yo, chill.
Anyways, well, congrats to Joey Logano for second truck win. That was pretty cool to see. He's turning into a really good stock car dirt driver.
Yeah.
I know Sunday he kind of wrecked out early thanks to William. He kind of, I don't know if he was mad at him, he just didn't let off, or I don't know.
I don't know.
But Bubba ended up spinning and then got caught up in that mess. What are your thoughts about? Okay, comments. Did you watch the Cup race though?
I did watch the Cup race.
Okay.
I watched the whole race. So
I'll let you start first. What was your thoughts about the whole race in general, like the racing? And question: do you think we should go back to Bristol Dirt? And if so,
I mean,
what about Easter Sunday?
I felt like it was a competitive race. Like I felt like you saw some comers and goers like throughout the whole race. The one guy that kind of impressed me, and I feel like he was like really under the radar like all weekend, was Austin Dillon. I feel like nobody really talked about like his dirt background. I thought he had a really good run.
Yep.
Larson, his whole situation with not giving Priest any room and then kind of just getting dumped later on. At the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of his fault. I mean, he's done it multiple times to multiple drivers and Priest, which is kind of like boiling over after Coda and getting dumped, and finally he just said he had enough. But I thought Christopher Bell obviously looked good. I was interested to see what was going to happen between Reddick and Briscoe when they were running second and third. I was like, how is this going to go after last year? And it kind of went exactly how I expected. Reddick just kind of put him into the wall. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of NASCAR on dirt. It doesn't do it for me. Like, I think Bristol, we should just go to Bristol twice and it'd be normal. I think that's one of the best races of the year almost every year. I mean, not necessarily since like the new cars came out because you see a little less passing, but I mean, I just love Bristol in general. So putting dirt on it just doesn't do it for me.
I love that. Statement.
Yeah, I agree on it. I like Bristol how it was, and the main reason they changed it was because of attendance. And this weekend, as it was a pretty crappy weekend for weather-wise, it only got 40%, 35-40% capacity. So, I mean, I personally think that this was the best dirt race we've seen in the last 3 years on this track. Because this was like a natural I feel like a natural dirt race, and that it proved because the guys that were bad on dirt, usually the guys that were bad on dirt like 2 years ago, were still like up there, and the guys that were really good on dirt, like Larson and Bell and Reddick, were just kind of mid pack. But this year was like all the guys that are trash on dirt were actually in the back. Everybody that's good on dirt, like Larson,
they started up front and stayed up front.
Yep, like Larson, Reddick, Bell.
Yep.
Some surprises. I think Austin Dillon has done some other dirt, but
yeah, he's got a lot of dirt coming up.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good race.
His brother as well, which he was a top 10 a lot of the day as well.
I don't think he finished 35th this race, so I'm proud of Ty Dillon.
He didn't. Logano was last.
There you go.
We did love that.
Yeah,
wins for everybody.
Don't mean to cut you off. We have 6 viewers right now watching live. If you would like to talk in the chat, please do.
Absolutely.
Most of them are probably my boys.
Any questions, send them our way. Everything.
Yeah, for sure. Someone just said Joey Logano is the GOAT.
Yeah, it was Jonah.
Yeah. I don't know.
He knows I hate Logano.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think the dirt race was interesting. I do agree with you, Damon. By far the best that we've seen of the 3 years that we've been there now. I think the track was really racy. It at least appeared that way. All 3 lines seemed to be working really well, depending on how the car seemed to be working, honestly. But even with that being said, it kind of seemed like nobody could go anywhere. Tires obviously were not meant. They meant nothing the whole night. It seemed like. That was a little bit of a surprise to me. I think if we do continue to go back, we need to bring a different tire that's going to wear a little bit more to create a little bit more strategy, a little bit more passing as well. But the tire didn't mean nothing. So nothing could happen unless you had a absolutely good car to get through the field. And it kind of seemed like the qualifying heat races, it kind of took care of that, kind of put everybody in line and in order where they needed to be. So I feel like everyone just kind of stayed stagnant the whole race. I don't know, though. I feel like the tire could have made a difference if it did wear, but we didn't see that. So I feel like I don't know, just didn't kind of play out the way that I'd like it to have been. But the track, I think itself was really good. I don't want to be there, though, for dirt. I think if we're going to race dirt, we need to be at a different track. We need to be somewhere a little bit more flatter. I think those cars will work a little bit better that way, but we got what we got right now. So
yeah, I think you got to be on a natural dirt track like Knoxville,
exactly,
or Eldora. And Tony wants it, and I think the only thing is they don't have a lot of grandstands. I think.
Yeah, but I mean that ain't nothing to bring some in,
Yeah, and plus, I mean, if you're saying 35, 40 even showed up anyways, the capacity you only need 10 more thousand seats. So I mean.
Right.
I think it's fair. Obviously, I have my own opinions on dirt racing in Cup. I think that's past our time. I think that was 40, 50 years ago. But I think now, just because it was the 75-year anniversary doesn't mean we go back to that, right? Like there's a reason why we went to asphalt to begin with, or concrete even. And if you're gonna tear up a track, don't do our best facility when it comes to racing. Even if I know Hunter brought it up. The short track package has been terrible with this car, but this year, the short track package has actually improved the racing a lot. I mean, I thought Richmond was great. I thought Coda was good when it comes to actual racing itself. Yeah. So
I agree.
I can't wait to see Bristol with this package, especially with them slipping and sliding and ain't got no downforce in the rear. I think it's going to be a great race, personally.
Yeah.
And so, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. But can you answer this section? Sorry. Obviously, after my point, I'll leave and we'll transition to y'all going forward. But other than that, I thought the race was kind of boring on my end. I actually fell asleep in it, and I don't usually do that. But yeah, either way, congrats to Christopher Bell. I know y'all get to that, and I know y'all get to the Larson thing. By the way, personally, I think Larson got what he deserved. I don't think it should have been that extreme.
I agree.
with Priest, and I think the displeasure on the caution was fine enough personally, but I guess Priest was done with, and I'm just glad he stuck up for himself. I didn't think out of any driver, I did not think Priest was going to be that guy personally. So that's my thoughts. I'll be back here soon though. So
Yeah,
peace out.
yeah. So going off of that point, yeah, that's it is interesting. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts about the Larson or not Larson? I'm sorry. Well, yeah, Larson and Priest incident. I agree with Dylan. I think the displeasure that he had already shown on the caution right after it happened, I thought that was kind of enough at that point. I was a little surprised to see him take those actions 100 laps later into the race. I mean, it'd be different, I guess, if they had made more contact and started beating him, banging more, then maybe dump him. But I don't know, it just kind of seemed like out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, I agree, but at the same time, we've heard from like a lot of drivers, including Priest, that Larson does these kind of mental errors all the time.
Right.
It puts people in the wall, and I think it was a bit much by Priest. I think he definitely overreacted because I don't think his car was ruined by any means.
Right.
I guess kind of his race was because he did spin out a couple laps later. When they first made contact, he went 2 down, so that's really why he couldn't get back up. And obviously through strategy, I think it was stage 2 or stage 3 that Larson and Priest got into it for the final time. Was it
stage 3 for sure?
Yeah, and a whole lot of pitch strategy with guys in stage 2 like Reddick and Truex. Ty Dillon also stayed out, so that got Larson back there. And then start stage 3, he surprisingly chose to stay on the same tires he used last stage, which was very interesting because there wasn't much tire wear, but he was the only one with tire problems.
Right.
Because after the first stage, you saw his right rear, and it wasn't terrible, but it was beat up. I think it was, but to the original point, I kind of got off track there, but I think it was good by Priest to put Larson in his place to make sure that you're doing something wrong and you got to fix it. It's going to keep happening every week.
Right, and I agree with that, but I think he should have done it in the first place if he was going to do it, not necessarily wait. But
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel weird even taking Denny Hamlin's word for anything, but I saw his interview. I think it's on his podcast where he was saying like Larson just puts like other drivers in these situations for like, especially like road courses, like where he'll just like put you like you're either going to have to lift or you're going in the grass or you're going in the wall. And I mean, is it a racy move? I mean, was 5 to go? Yeah. Stage 1, I was not necessarily. But I mean, I really think it was just like built up. Like you could just hear like over the radio at Coda, like Priest just like wasn't happy, and it's just kind of boiling over. And I think it was finally like the straw that broke the camel's back. And
right,
I figured it was coming. I thought it was going to happen like right then and there, like at the stage break and everything.
Right.
But I mean, it was just a matter of time until they found each other again. And I knew something was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to work out in Priest's favor. But, I mean, at least he didn't admit to doing it. So
yeah, that's the key to it.
Well, he said when he wrecked, when he got put in the wall first, that he was going to get him. And I thought it was strange that he didn't get penalized because I just watched this today. I was watching a YouTube video. This was a while ago. This is like late 90s, probably early 2000s, and it was Kevin Harvick in a Craftsman Truck Series at the time, and I guess some dude cut him off, and then he said on the radio that he was going to go get him and wreck him, and he did, and he didn't admit after that he just plain out wrecked him. It's the fact that he said before that he was going to go get him, so that's why I feel like there's a lot of.
And I know.
Granted, that was Granted, that was 20 years ago. We could see the inconsistencies because Priest and a whole bunch of others have done the same thing before and not been penalized. But if you say something, then you're penalized. So it's like you can put the dude in the wall on purpose. You could turn right as much as you want on the guy. As long as you don't say it on purpose, you don't get penalized, which is it's a crack in the system.
Right. Unless you're Bubba Wallace and spin somebody on a straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, and we've kind of seen this fluctuate before, right? I'm glad that you did mention that it was so long ago and it was still kind of like almost like a gray area type of rule, We even came out of that for a little bit with the whole boys have at it stage. Remember that? Like where they could technically wreck each other and not be penalized and all that good stuff for it. And they could fight and this and that, as long as nothing was excessive, like the Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, Atlanta situation. As long as nothing was like that, they were okay with them wrecking each other basically. But I guess we kind of have drifted back around into the other direction now. So they're penalizing each other for it. But I think it'll kind of start to shift the other way because all the drivers are going to be basically walking on their tippy toes, because they don't want to wreck each other and get a fine for a while. So then I think they'll eventually bring it back to where it won't be a penalty for wrecking each other, basically.
Yeah. I kind of hope they do. Like, I think ever since they brought like the new car in, like the racing is just so tight. Like every single week,
Right.
Like, you don't have somebody just pulling away by like 10 car lengths and just dominating the race anymore. It seems like so. Like, and honestly, I feel like Ross Chastain and Denny last year. Like I feel like that brought more viewers into NASCAR, and then like
the last 6-7 years. Total.
Yeah, I think rivalries are like what made the sport great back in the day.
Right.
So just like let them beat up on each other, let them have their rivalry, and just like let the sport continue to just like have like that factor. That way, like stage 2, you see like Denny and Ross like racing near each other. Like the fans are still going to be there. Like, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Like I want them. Like I'm not saying I want a demolition derby. Like I don't want people like intentionally just like dumping each other in turns, but bump and run, man. I miss that stuff. Like
exactly. And the fans, just like you said, we feed on that energy. It's just like the same type of situation of take like football, like Georgia and Tennessee. It's a rivalry type of situation. I think it's like the same type of situation like that in NASCAR. It's right now, like you said, the Hamlin and Chastain one. Just like you mentioned, you see that on TV, they'll be racing close to each other and you think they're going to wreck each other because there's history there, and it gets you amped up. It gets you, on the edge of your seat, excited to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And I mean, without rivalries, that I feel like you can't have that kind of feeling throughout the race half the time. I don't know, but
it's been a while since we haven't had like a rivalry. Like early, it was Earnhardt versus everybody, basically, and then it was Earnhardt versus Gordon, I guess. Then there was Harvick versus Busch, Busch versus half the field, and then Hamlin, Chastain last year.
A lot.
Yeah, rivalry is what brings like a viewer wanting to come back next week to see if that guy is going to get there and what he's going to do when he gets there.
Right.
So that's my view on it. You guys got anything else in the Bristol Dirt? I don't think we really went over besides that part.
Well, I mean, obviously with everything that we had talked about already, somehow Christopher Bell happened to show up at the end. He made it through, survived, and I think he led like the last 50, 60 plus, something like that. I mean, he led a decent
like
bit.
that, I'll tell you.
But he showed up at the end when it mattered most and took the dub.
Yeah, it was
all his wins.
What?
That's all his wins. He shows up right at the end.
I mean, yeah, he might be the modern day closer.
Oof, that's a bold statement.
Could be though.
He could be, yeah. I mean, I just never really thought about it that way.
Right.
I was surprised to see how the track changed throughout the night, because at first it started on the bottom, but I feel like the truck series I didn't watch the truck race, but it was mostly just on the bottom, right? That's where at least I saw Logano running.
It's kind of all over, mainly. Yeah, that's definitely where the fast trucks was on the bottom. But I mean, and they were kind of just all over because we never ran more than 15 laps, So the whole time we're 2x2.
Yeah, couldn't break it in at all.
Right. Yeah.
Christian Bell led the last 43.
Last 43. Yeah. So I mean, he led a good chunk, out of 250. So, but just like I said, showed up for that last fifth of the race, right there to take it.
Yeah, I don't think he was the fastest car at the end too. He had the track position, and Briscoe was coming up on him, and Briscoe couldn't get around him, and then Reddick put pressure on him. Briscoe in the wall. Reddick and Bell were about 6 car lengths apart, something like that. Then there's a caution, and at 10 to go, I think 8 to 10 to go, they went back to green, and Bell and Reddick were right back at it. Unfortunately, there's a caution coming to the final corner, which we would have been able to see what Reddick would have done. Maybe he pulled a Briscoe on him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was going to be close enough.
I don't think he was going to get there.
If it was going to be anything, Yeah, it was going to be like a Briscoe type move. Like it was going to require a lot of contact.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would have tried to even pull it on him. Honestly, I think Reddick's a smarter driver, but also a more respectful driver, especially to fellow dirt drivers
And
as
he's
well.
also got a win already. So
That as well too. Yeah, he's not as desperate. I don't know. That's an interesting way though to look at it.
Yeah, I just want to do a quick overview of the race. Stage 1 was just Larson dominated. He pretty sure led every lap. There was a caution before the end of the stage where some drivers pitted already, that took their tires and all that, and they stayed out at the end of the stage, which Reddick, the stage 2 winner, was one of them. It was Reddick, Truex, Ty Dillon, and maybe Denny Hamlin. It was, I think, one of the JGR cars. I don't really remember what happened in stage 2, but Reddick ended up winning it. Larson was stuck in the middle of the field for most of it. And that he spun all by himself, I'm pretty sure, coming out of 2 and got him back there all the way in the back. And then when he's come back up, he and Priest met each other. And as we said, Priest got his payback, which was pretty obvious. You could just tell by, I could mostly tell by the way his wheels were after they first hit off the wall and they went all the way down. And Priest's wheels were turned like 45 degrees to the right.
Oh yeah.
And so that's how they wrecked, and then it was mostly Christopher. I think Christopher Bell at the end of stage 2 stayed out. I don't totally remember that, but Bell kept his track position, got the lead late. Kyle Busch was a caution, which was pretty controversial. Cautions were very controversial this race, with McDowell 360ing it every 5 laps, or another driver 360ing it every 5 laps. But Kyle Busch spun. He didn't really totally spin until he hit the apron, and he went right into pit road, and they called the caution. When people, with Suarez, I think, right after the caution, spun in the middle of the track in front of 20 cars, and they didn't throw a caution. So inconsistencies with cautions. I think they just wanted. It was already going to be an entertaining finish. Reddick and Bell were half a second off each other, but I guess NASCAR wanted more entertainment. I don't know. And then at the end, last lap, Chastain. It was a big wreck on the backstretch. Most cars pulled away, but Chastain's car totally broke, and he was parked in the middle of 3 and 4, and resulted in the yellow being called by the leaders on the backstretch, and Christopher Bell got the win. Some notable finishers that I like to do. Austin Dillon ran strong all day. He finished
Very
third.
strong. Yeah. He actually also as well captured the most points during stage 1 and 2 as well, I believe.
It's a very good day for him. That's good to see after Kyle Busch has basically been leading RCR a good bit this year, but it's good to see Dillon have a strong day. Ricky Stenhouse, 4th place. Very impressive. Justin Haley, 6th. He got stages in points at every stage. It was only granted like 1 or 2 in stages, but he scored the most points in his full-time Cup Series career, 38 that last race. He is still mired back in points, though. He only has like 62 points because of that penalty that he had.
Yeah.
So he's going to need a win most likely. Todd Gilliland, 8th place. A lot of good finishers here. Michael McDowell, 10th after 360ing it a couple times. Eric Jones.
Impressive.
Yeah. The first one was, wow, he was still going like 90 when he did it. That was impressive as shit. Harrison Burton, 15th, and then Allmendinger, 16th, RFK, 17th, 18th, Cindric, 19th, Yaley, 20th. I mentioned the 16th through 20th guys quickly just because they were the last like 5 cars the whole race. Besides Cindric for the first 5 laps when the Fox crew was gloating about him, then he just decided to take a shit the rest of the race. But they were dead last the whole race. They just stayed out of the mayhem, got a top 20 day, which is great for them. Couple good truck runs. Jake Garcia with another great run, got 6th. Caden Honeycutt, 9th. He started 3rd. Wow.
Yeah, he ran very strong too.
Matt DiBenedetto, 10th. Roger Carruth, 11th. Haley Deegan, 13th. Jonathan Davenport was the dirt specialist, you could say, in the race. He ran the Cup race also, but struggled. He finished 14th. Spencer Boyd, 16th, and Brett Holmes, 20th. So a lot of good runs for some of these teams that need it.
Yeah, a lot of good runs for a lot of small town guys in the Cups and trucks. I like that you mentioned Dillon as well. I mean, I know Hunter mentioned him as well. It was interesting to see Dillon run so well. I mean, he grew up doing dirt, so he had a lot of dirt experience coming up. But man, he ran really fast. At one point during stage 3, I thought Dylan probably had the best car, especially through the centers of 3 and 4. He was cruising. I really thought Dylan might have been able to steal one away there if everything worked out, but it didn't, sadly. But he did have a really strong run. Another notable finish though was even Harvick in ninth, because he did not run there at all.
Yeah.
He
was 21st most of the race. Trust me.
if not
his average
than that,
his average running position, I think Boyer said it at the end of the race, was like 22.9. I mean, he was piss poor.
I couldn't believe that he finished that high because I remember just like looking up at the scanner like as the race was going. I was like, oh, Harvick's in like 30th right now. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, and he never moved. He stayed back there the whole race, and I completely didn't even think about him the whole race because it didn't even cross my mind. And I remember, as the race is finishing and ending in our caution, then it shows the running order, and that's and Harvick ninth. I was like, what the hell? It's like, where the hell did he come from, man? That was shocking, man. I don't know how he made that happen.
Yeah, he was. I was expecting big things of him before he wrecked last year. He was pretty quick. He lost track position last year, but he got wrecked in stage 2, and I was expecting big things. But no, he was really bad for most of the race. But as they adjusted on the car, it got a little bit better. Then of course Mayhem for the last stage, and ended up getting ninth, which is great because guy who had little pointer or whatever. Chastain had a really bad day, and obviously he didn't finish the race. And he was the points leader over Christopher Bell. Now they've swapped. Christopher Bell is now the points leader. I think 13 points up on Chastain. Yep, 13 points on Chastain. 26 on dude. This points battle is close. Like 1st through 7th is less than 50 points.
Tired.
Like it's like last year. There's no dominant driver. I mean, it's probably Hendrick, Larson, Byron, Bowman even. But they can't get away from the penalties. But I thought it was a pretty good race. Going back to what we said to begin top of the podcast, I honestly like this spring race being on dirt just because it didn't bring any excitement. Like now it's on dirt and it's on, of course, the Big Fox, which is where you get more viewers, and they actually did pretty solid on viewership. We'll talk about that a little later. Yeah. But it brings some excitement. Yeah, you don't get a lot of fans. Not a lot of people in the spring want to go to Bristol, mostly because they said it. I think during the Fox broadcast also is the weather is the worst through there, so it's like hard to have a dirt race because you could, it's all gonna get all sloppy or whatever, and it's hard to fix the track, But I think it brings more excitement.
Yeah, it's tough. That whole area around that time is tough. Same with like the Atlanta race. Around that time, it's always gloomy up there. It's tough to make it all work out. I remember when I went to the.
What are you gonna say, dumb boy?
Yeah. I mean, even Daytona in August, straight hurricane season.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like just the fact that it's on Easter Sunday, like I feel like it's hard to get people to want to go to a race on that day.
Right.
They were trying to compare it, sorry, Hunter, but they were trying to compare it to like the NFL on Thanksgiving or the NBA on Christmas. I was like, don't even. Those are the best days of the year. Easter is for like not a ton of people.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been better, I guess. It was okay. I liked what the track produced, but there was just no passing the whole race. Everybody kind of seemed stagnant. But I mean, the track looked good. You could run anywhere. So from a visual perspective, it looked good.
Well, I mean, the one thing I will say about like the visual, and I got a trusted source because they were at the race. I talked to Copenhagen about it. I was thinking to myself, like in stage 3, I was like, dude, it almost looks like all the dirt is gone on the top side. I was like, could you like still see dirt being at the race? Like he's like, in all honesty, like it was almost like straight asphalt, but like they were still like able to like drift around because there was still like a little bit of a dirt compact, and I guess like the surface underneath was still like pretty wet. And I was like, so I'm like thinking to myself, like, would it almost have been beneficial at the end of the race to run the bottom? Like if you're spinning your tires more on a wet concrete surface and really killing the tire, like would it have been beneficial to run the bottom at the end? I feel like Austin Dillon, like he was on the bottom the whole race. And like you said earlier, like he was like one of the fastest cars in stage 3. And so it kind of led me to believe like was that like the better line at the end of the race. But I mean, for the most part, other than like I said, with like it kind of like the dirt fading and like that little pothole, I think it was in 3 and 4.
Yeah, that rut, man, that was a hell of a rut.
I thought like the track did hold up pretty well. I think was it the first year they went there? Didn't they have to like take a water truck out there because it was so dusty or something?
Bad.
Like,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really bad.
I thought it was much better like maintained this time around.
Yeah, they're getting better at what the track preparations they need to do and they need to keep up on and what not to do and so forth to keep that racing product good for us. They did do a really good job this year, and I think that's why we were able to see such wide of a group. You know, they ran literally from top to bottom all through the race. Realistically, I don't know though. I think the track did hold up really well, minus that one rut. But I mean, that's just kind of what happens when it dries out over time anyway. You know, we don't see these local short tracks really, like they're not holding 150 lap races. You know, they're holding 4, 5, 6, 7, 30 lap races. So, you know, they don't go through much as track changes like what we see. So it's interesting. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that they didn't water the track a little bit more than they did going into stage 3. I thought that they would have done a little bit of track prep to kind of reset it. I also think that would have changed the complexity of the race, though, because it would have changed how the track was driving. It would have made it a whole lot more of a fresher groove. There would have been a ton of grip out there. They would have really gravitated to the bottom at that point. But I don't know. I still think it's just a learning process for what they need if we are going to continue to go there. And I mean, I think the racing product can only get better if we continue.
Yeah, I think going back to
was.
you can go, Dumbo.
Go. I mean, this is what this whole thing was 3 years ago. Change and try and get something.
Right.
Going back on what Hunter said about the top side, I think mostly it wasn't like you could see the asphalt. I think it was the rubber laying into the dirt, which made it more slick. But still, obviously, as they run on it, they're going to kick the dirt all over the place. So it's going to be, but there was no asphalt being seen. It was just the rubber, which makes it more slick, which also, what you guys are saying, probably makes the bottom a little bit more beneficial because you're not sliding and slipping as much.
I mean, yeah, I think to a certain extent, I think, like I said, I mean, we kind of saw the track raceable from top to bottom. So I think it really just kind of depended on where your car wanted to be and where it would work better. Especially since we also saw such a lack of tire wear, it also meant that we're only pitting one time. So you got one time to adjust on the car if you're not wrecked or whatnot, you know? So there's only so much that you can do and change without hitting extra times and giving a very valuable track position. But I don't know. It was a good race, though. I didn't mind it overall.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to add on from the Bristol Dirt weekend?
I think we're good to move on to news.
Yeah. I just want to do the viewership real quick.
Yeah.
Based off, I think you guys probably already know what we're expecting. Obviously, it's going to be a decrease, but honestly, I think this was solid. So Fox earned 3.5 million viewers for Sunday's Food City Dirt Race at Bristol, down from the 4 million from last year's event. They were going up against the Masters, or the Masters was on the weekend, and the Masters dominated. They had 12 million viewers during the weekend. But NASCAR was the number 1 and number 2 sport of the weekend in 7 of the first 8 points races. They've gone against like NBA, they've gone against golf, the NCAA tournament. So them being number 1 or 2 in every basically almost every points race is pretty cool, and only 500,000 decrease. It's what we expect. So I honestly think that's pretty solid for what we've been seeing.
Too.
Yeah. I think that's what we expect, but I also think that's not too bad. Giving up only that much for being such a holiday and honestly being a little bit later of a race as well. I don't think that's too bad to give up, but I still think we could be better. But at the same time, that's what you're going to get on Easter, I think.
Hunter, Dylan, you guys got anything?
I'm good.
No, nothing else to add. I'm excited to get to the news.
Yeah, not a ton of news. I think I know what you're excited
There's
about.
one very big thing.
Well,
Yeah, that's about it.
there's actually two, but we're not going to go too in depth on the second one. We'll just leave it kind of. But the big news of the week is Chase Elliott is returning to the NASCAR Cup Series this weekend at Martinsville. I have not checked the point situation he is in yet, but I'm pretty sure he is dead last.
I'll play right now.
No, he's not.
He's not.
No,
dead
he is
last.
not.
Sorry, he's 34th, 230 points back.
Put some respect on his name.
230 points. So does he have a
Tell
waiver
me.
championship wise?
100%.
They gave him a waiver.
Okay.
Yeah, they
So
gave him
that's
the
good to
waiver.
know. I don't expect him to run very strong at Martinsville. I think he's going to take it fairly easy, honestly.
I don't know.
I
feel
think
like
you're going to see him really strong in stage one, and then that leg is really going to
Oh.
start to affect him.
Or something like that, right?
I think you'll see him start fading pretty quick. And I'm not gonna lie, I did a little bit of research, but I didn't see anything. Is Josh Berry still gonna be there? In case it's
Yeah,
like a
he
situation
should
where he
be,
can't make the race, like
As
the
a
whole
relief
race.
driver?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
probably will be.
I would expect him to. I mean, Xfinity is racing this week anyway there, but as well as that situation, I think
That's a tough track to come back from a broken leg on so much braking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot to ask for.
I would have skipped the next 2 weeks.
I would have went back to Dega. Dega's an easy one. That's
Not
just
if you
a-
wreck though with these cars. You
I
don't know how that
mean-
leg's gonna hold up.
Yeah, but
which is true. But at the same time, you could just.
It's Hendrick. It's Dega. He
Right,
can easily get
right.
pushed.
But at the same time, he could just take it easy as well. Just ride in the back the whole race, just get a good solid finish out of it. But I don't know. I think Martinsville, him coming back, that's going to be a tough feat. That's going to be a lot to ask for.
He said he ran like 800 laps on the simulator. So
Yeah, I feel like the simulator just doesn't give you the real.
Yeah.
I feel like you get the real experience, but dude, I'm telling you, I mean, I'm a huge Chase fan. If you couldn't tell, but I really don't think the leg holds up. Like,
I agree.
it was a broken tibia, right?
Hold up.
I believe
He
so,
said
yeah.
it's more towards his knee though. So
Pretty sure he's got a couple screws in it. I think they
More
said.
towards his knee, so that's going to hurt the most when he's full throttle and full braking.
Yeah.
That stretch.
Well, it's the left leg, right? So it'll be
Or
mostly
is it
like
the left? I don't know which one it is.
I'm pretty sure it's the left, and I feel like Chase.
So that's going to be under braking.
Yeah, it's gonna be braking, which that's where I was like, man, this is like
Oh,
probably one of
man.
the hardest tracks to come back to for a broken leg.
Yeah,
They
that's
got to give him some pretty soft brakes.
yeah. Honestly, that's going to be tough. That's going to be a lot to ask for.
One thing is, it is 100 laps less than it usually is. It's 400 laps now, not 500. They started that last year. So that's something. He is 34th in points with only 49. He is 134 points out from Chris Buescher. Justin Haley is 32nd with 61 points. He's 122 points out. So obviously, Elliott much better team than Haley, but I did want to give an update on Haley with that 100-point penalty. Can Chase do it?
I mean, I think Chase wins a race.
He's got 18 races.
I think he can make the
I think
playoffs.
he wins a race before the end of the regular season. But realistically, in all honesty, maybe I'm biased. I think he could still point his way in, but he would have to have a phenomenal season. Would have there literally can't be more than like one DNF from here on out if he's going to point his way in. Like it has to be like basically like an average like 10th place finish every single week. If he doesn't win a race to point his way in, it would have to be significant. Like you would have
At
to
least, yeah.
it'd
And
have
on
to
top
be-
of that, a lot of stage points.
Well, that and it would almost have to be like, wow, like this dude deserves to be in the playoffs with like how good he's ran all season, not just like. I mean, realistically, I don't see that happening. I don't see him pointing his way in. I think he wins a race at some point. And I think at the end of the year, you'll see him in like 22nd place in points or something like that.
and the next
I
5 races,
completely
he's
agree.
won it at 4 of the tracks. So
But that don't mean he goes out and wins,
I don't see NASCAR letting their poster boy miss the playoffs. So.
Oh, come on. You don't have to take that route.
I agree, though. I completely agree, and you're not wrong as well.
If he wins the championship like Kyle Busch did, I'm gonna lose it. I'm just saying.
That's crazy as so. It can happen.
I've already thought about it, man. So many
It's gonna
Mickey
be a
Mouse
battle of broken
championships.
legs.
If he gets in there on point, like even if he wins the race, he's got 18 races. He's got a lot of races. But if he could point it, if he would be able to point his way in, even if he does win a race, if his points are in top 16, I won't say it's a Mickey Mouse win. I'll say he deserved it because he got there points the hard way. Even if he does win a race, if I like, obviously he's gonna make it if he wins a race anyway. But if I see like his points are top 16, like 15th or something, I'm all right. He whatever happens, he deserves it because he got in there the hard way.
What if
How
he was?
mad-
What
how
if he's
mad-
top 30 though? Just like how like it used to be.
I'd
where
be
it's like-
pissed then. If he only gets up to like 22nd in points and doesn't make it, I'm gonna be mad because he doesn't.
But why
that
is
point-
that? If last year you could be like in Austin Dillon, he wasn't top 16 in points, right? He had to win at Daytona when he got in. Am I
Well,
correct
as many
by saying
winners
that?
as there was behind him, I think he was actually in the top 16. But there's so many winners.
So
like
imagine we
Michael
have
McDowell.
16 winners though, and it just kicks Chase out because he's still far back in the point.
It could happen. I don't think that'll happen this year.
No, not this year.
Not
That
gonna
ain't
lie,
happening.
him breaking his leg actually was good. He
Wow.
missed
Yeah,
a
it's
100
stronger
point
now.
penalty.
Yeah.
In
Well,
fact,
he had
he
no
got
points.
back. He got
He
it
had
back.
no
He
points.
would have gotten it back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then he got fined for the windshield wiper, so
Maybe.
well, that was only two of their cars, not
Yeah,
not the
maybe.
other two.
they definitely would have did it to Chase.
Yeah, but whatever they can do to cheat to get the advantage, like they don't have NASCAR on them. All right,
Not even won the cars.
Valid.
Windshield wipers helped so much at Richmond.
Oh yeah, they
They
did.
didn't even use them. Like we talked about them last week. They didn't even use them because there was no practice, and they took them off before the race. Stupid penalty. But you guys have anything to add on this Chase Elliott news?
No, I'm just so excited to actually like have somebody to cheer for on Sundays.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Another dude to break his leg on Sunday.
I hope he does.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
Y'all-
hope breaks the right one this time.
Y'all are gonna bring out some Harvick hate for the rest of the year if you don't chill out.
I hope Harvick finds him. Harvick still owes him 20.
Hey, I mean, Harvick finished 9th at a dirt track, so I'll take it.
All right, next bit of news, which I don't really know if we're going to be chit chatting about this one because this is kind of serious. Cody Ware did not race this past weekend.
Yeah.
They said he had a personal matter. Turns out on Monday we found out what the personal matter was, and it was him being arrested. Not gonna say what it's for because it's pretty disturbing. If you want to know what it's for, you can search it up yourself. You should find it pretty easily. But Zane, he is out. He's suspended indefinitely, and Zane Smith is filling in for the 51 this week for Rick Ware Racing. Not much for Zane. Not much Zane can really do in a Rick Ware car, so I kind of feel bad for him if he does pretty shitty. But yeah, that sucks with what happened with Cody Ware. But he definitely got what he deserved for that.
Yeah, no, that's that type of behavior is obviously unacceptable. You know, in any world, NASCAR world specifically, you know, we can't be having that. So yeah, he got what he deserved. It's another roadblock off the track, but so Zane Smith though, I mean, yeah, it's not much to fill in. You know, it'll be okay. I think. I think he maybe can squeeze out like a 26th, 25th out of it, maybe.
Do you think he's the permanent replacement though? For now,
I really hope not, because I would like him to just focus on his career. You know,
I want to see him in good equipment eventually.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think he just needs to focus on the trucks, do his thing. You know, go get another championship, move on up to Xfinity. Don't focus on that Rick Ware shit because you're not going to go nowhere.
yeah.
I'd honestly just start and park it. I think the team would be better with him just starting parking it.
Low key, yeah.
That's
All
why.
right, I mean, maybe go out, get some laps, go ahead and get some experience. Welcome back, Dylan. Welcome.
What's up?
I mean, I think it could be good for him. You know, why not take advantage of the opportunity? But I don't think he should look at it for a long-term solution because that's, you know, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, it just won't help him because obviously the Cup races are after the truck races, and if they're on the same weekend, it's not gonna help him at all. All it could do is, in the back of his mind, it could take his focus away from the truck series where he's trying to go back to back, and he's having a really good year. I do have a couple more things for the Chase Elliott. I think you guys already touched on it, but Josh Berry will be on standby for Chase Elliott this weekend. And Chase Elliott, he had a few screws by the top of his tibia near the knee. No ACL damage, nothing like that. And a quote from him, not really a quote, but he did say he would not do this race if he didn't feel like he could do it. And he said anything that happens like in the car, like normal physical stuff, it will not hurt his injury at all. It won't make it worse. So positive news of Chase Elliott. Glad to have him back, even as much as I really don't like him.
Yeah.
Good
So
job.
then at that point, it would just be any physical pain that he has from the
Yeah.
actual injury and the recovery itself. You know.
Mhm.
Just to catch me up, sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but so what have you all talked about since obviously the end of the dirt race?
Viewership.
yeah, we talked-
Chase Elliott coming back, and did the
Cody
Cody Ware
Ware.
thing real quick.
Yeah.
Can I add something to Rick
Yeah.
Ware Racing to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, terrible news, no matter what. You know, but there's great news to Rick Ware Racing. I don't know if we talked about this, but I just saw that Tommy Baldwin,
I saw that.
he's actually becoming like a director at Rick Ware Racing. So, and you know,
VP, right?
yeah, I believe so. So, you know, what he did with his race team, you know, in the 7, you know,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Golden Corral and all those things
Yeah.
back in the day.
Dave Blaney, he ran that car for a
I
little bit.
think we could literally see an improvement.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Honestly, go get Cole Custer.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
And I don't even like Custer.
I don't even think he's that good. I think
Me
he's
neither.
good enough to perform in that car, in a sense of like getting their money of what they need.
Right.
But if they want someone who's going to outperform their equipment, I think you get someone that's, you know, like a Daniel Hemrick. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a fair. His career is not that good. I mean, yeah, he won the championship, but he only has one win just because of the championship.
Yeah.
And so I
It's just-
think
how long is his contract?
with Colleague,
Yeah.
Probably just
Even
to
though
the
he
end
can
of
get
this
bought out,
year.
I know.
I was honestly surprised he was even on for a second.
why does it keep cutting out?
I don't know. Both of y'all have been.
Oh yeah, he's the competition director. It said to Rick Ware now.
Thank you. What'd you say?
Tommy Baldwin's the competition director now.
Yeah.
Well, that could be so that could be good for Rick Ware Racing in the future
I think it's
during the
gonna be
long
great.
haul. Yeah, that's some great leadership, great experience to have, great connections that I'm sure he brings to the table as well. You know,
And
that could be
I
interesting.
think it's a Spire like situation, honestly. We could
Yeah.
see him up in the top 15 2 or 3 years.
yeah, really.
On the flip side of it, though, I do think that Zane shouldn't waste his time there, though. I mean, yeah, fill in, you know, do what you got to do, get the experience while you can. But I think long term, I don't think you should stick there because I think I think there's a lot of building to be done there, and I don't think that would benefit his career, at least short term wise.
I don't. You know, obviously, I don't know how much, you know, that salary would be. Obviously, at the end of the day, you want to win races, versus make money. But
Right.
you also make money, right?
Right.
He's engaged and he's married. I think he's married, right? Or is he just
Maybe I don't know.
Either way, you know, he has to think about it logically, financially.
Yeah,
And I
what's
think
best for him in his life? Yeah.
what's so funny.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, is it like no? I'm stupid. Anyways,
It's on the side. It's not y'all.
anyways, I forgot.
I do have one more, a little bit of news since there's not much to talk about. I feel like for news this week, NASCAR also indefinitely suspended Xfinity truck pit crew member Michael Hayden. According to Missouri court records, Hayden arrested on a misdemeanor domestic assault charge, which is 1 year jail, suspended, 1 year supervised probation, and 40 hours community service. Not great for the NASCAR community this week.
No.
That's why Chase came back. They had too much bad news.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't handle it.
He should have saved the day.
Are you clicking the green button, like the phone call button? Yeah, press that first, and then.
No, I don't want to push it.
Say that like you have.
This is his first podcast, guys. He doesn't know how to mute. It's okay.
He's learning. He's learning.
Let's
He's
let's
okay.
just listen to it, and then if he says something bad, we'll just move on. Yeah. Oh, I think he muted. Oh no, he didn't.
Either way.
I would say let's move into picks, but I don't want to move into
Yeah.
picks without him for his first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What? Let me see if there's anything else that I saw this week that
I did see a little cool thing. It's not really news, but Real Tree is back on Kevin Harvick's car
Mm.
for a throwback from his first RCR race in 1999.
Yep.
Car looks dope as shit. Not gonna lie. I wish it was racing under the lights, but I could take it.
Yeah, it looks good. It's cool. Once again, another reunited sponsor with Harvick for his final season. Wasn't expecting that type of thing. Well, I shouldn't say another one because he's had Ring for a couple of years now. But hopefully we get more, man. You know, I like it when it just gives it a cool vibe when, you know, we see these drivers that we followed. I mean, obviously I'm a little biased with Kevin, but, you know, we see all these drivers that we followed for these years and years, and they're coming to their retirement, you know, and it's cool to see all these reruns of paint schemes and just little things like that to honor them and honor their legacy that they brought and left on behind them. I hope we get more. You know, I like seeing the cool paint schemes.
And one thing I did not know up until I think it was this weekend that Chase Briscoe broke his middle finger actually, and he was in.
Yeah.
I did not know that happened until this weekend. It's still broken, and he's getting surgery after Martinsville.
They said he was supposed to get surgery.
He was supposed to
I
get
saw
it
something.
Monday morning.
They said
I saw
Monday
something. They said
morning
they
after
got needed.
Martinsville to get some rods and screws put in. Quote, that's
They
tweet
said
by him.
he might not need it now. It's not
Maybe,
as
yeah.
serious as they think.
Yeah, he ended up breaking it, I believe, technically Thursday before the race, in a dirt car racing, I guess, accident. Somehow, I don't know.
All right, I just came back. What are we doing? What topic are we on right now?
We're just covering time when you were gone.
Yeah,
basically.
so we're moving into picks.
My
Let's get
DoorDash
started.
driver got lost, dude.
What'd you get?
Yes.
Yeah, what'd you get? I'm hungry.
Pizza.
Me too.
Oh.
Dude, there's this
I
place
thought there was
now.
gonna be Taco Bell or something.
Nah, bro, I got Taco Bell earlier. I DoorDashed it.
Pizza
I got the
Hut.
bag right by my
Dang it.
feet.
Dude,
That's the
you're
DoorDash
making
that shit
bank
tomorrow.
if you do two DoorDash orders in a day.
Dude, this is the first day off I've had in like 7 or 8 days. I've been day drinking all day, and there was no going out and getting food.
Not legally, at least.
Well, yes, exactly.
Not legally.
What a wise man.
And sponsor us, Make Ultra. We drink responsibly.
Hey, yep, there we go.
It's a beer, light beer.
All right, we all get to the picks. I'll read the truck series. Good.
Mhm.
All right, truck series is at Martinsville Speedway for the Long John Silver's 200 at Martinsville. 200 laps, 105 miles on tomorrow, August 14th, 7:30 p.m. Fuck yourself. 7:30 p.m. tomorrow on FS1.
It's
On
Today's
tomorrow.
guys.
On tomorrow.
It's on tomorrow. Jesus.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you for that.
Hey,
All right,
tomorrow, we'll be watching the truck.
I want to hear Hunter. Who's your suck pick for the truck series?
My suck pick, I feel like I might get some hate from one person. It's Haley Deegan.
Hey, she be sucking all. Okay.
Valid. Sheesh.
Kiss. All right, Dumb Boy, who's your suck pick?
My suck pick is Ross Chastain.
Wow. All right. Dylan.
He's running the trucks?
Yep.
Mhm.
41.
Oh, wow. I
So
missed that.
Kyle.
I saw that.
Who the hell? I'm gonna go with Matt Benedetto.
Mitchell.
I got a double up here. That 13 truck. It's going to be in the back.
Mine might surprise some people, but somebody's got to suck. I got Carson Hocevar. Chase Elliott's broken leg, buddy.
Mm.
All right. Good run. Who you got, Honor?
Good run. I got Matt Crafton.
All right. Stat Boy.
I got Grant Enfinger.
Not a bad pick. Dylan.
I'm gonna go Dean Thompson. I think he's impressed me the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just how well he's been running, and
Sheesh.
so I just want to see him at a short track. So
Hasn't got the finishes he deserves, but
Yeah.
pretty good. Mitchell, who you got?
I got Zane Smith. I think he's going to have a really strong run this week. He seems to be good under them slow, kind of heavy braking, let it rotate type of tracks. So I think he's going to be really strong.
I can see that.
I have Matt DiBenedetto for my good run. I feel like he's good on these kind of short tracks. Hunter, who's winning?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of an easy pick for me, but Kyle Busch. Dude doesn't lose in trucks.
Stat boy?
No lie.
For trucks, I think for the win, I'm gonna go Corey High.
Dylan?
Kyle Busch.
Mitchell?
Happy, baby.
I got maybe a surprise to some, but a guy who deserves it. Nicholas Sanchez.
Thought about it, but I didn't personally know how he is on short tracks, so I didn't go with him.
I believe.
I
Are we gonna have Hunter do the Xfinity?
Nah, Mitch can do it.
Aw.
Do this to me.
Xfinity, baby.
Don't fuck up, Mitchell.
April 15th, 7:30 p.m. is when the race is.
Is that what it's on?
That's on Saturday.
It's
on Saturday.
Correct. If you would like to tune into it, it'll be on FS1, or you can listen into the MRN. It's 250 lap race, 250 lap race. Tripping. I read it
You
backwards.
fucked up too. I'll take it.
131.5 miles. Hunter, who you got for your suck pick?
Luck pick. I'm gonna go Justin Allgaier. I got a weird suspicion he's gonna struggle at Martinsville.
Stat boy.
I'm gonna go Derek Kraus.
I could see that. What you got, Damon?
I got. Hurts to say it, but I got Cole Custer sucking.
History would repeat that. Yeah. Dylan.
I'm gonna go with a surprise pick here, but I think Ryan Truex has a bad week this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I gotta go with the obvious. Brandon Jones, man, he's trash. He's gonna be in the back,
This
What
is,
shitter,
this is
dude.
best track.
and he's probably gonna get dumped. So
He'll probably finish 30th for it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be awkward.
Hunter, who you got having a good run?
I think we know who's winning for.
I was gonna say Brandon Jones is my good run. Hey, I feel like he has had success here, and Ty
Yes.
Gibbs isn't here, so maybe he has a chance.
Hey,
he's
I
still,
mean, that's
he's still got
valid, though.
teammates though. He's still got teammates.
Valid.
He does.
Who you got having a good run, stat boy?
I got a former teammate of Brandon Jones, John Hunter Nemechek.
I can see it. Yep. Damon.
There's a couple guys that I just want to have good runs. I don't know if they will, but pretty big. Ryan Truex and Derek Kraus. I want those guys to have good runs, and I want to see what they can do.
Can see it. Dylan.
I think Kaz Gralla is gonna be strong this week. So yeah, Kaz.
I can see that. I got Cole Custer having a good run. I think these short tracks, I feel like he's able to kind of control his destiny a little bit more. So I think he'll be able to have a good run out of it. Who you got winning, Hunter?
All right, it's not a homer pick, all right, but Josh Berry. All right, he's good on the short tracks. I think he gets it done this week.
Yeah, I mean, he got his first ever win there. I can see it.
We're all shaking our head in unison.
Yeah,
I saw that for a second. I saw that. That tripped me out. All right.
Stat boy.
Josh Berry.
Alrighty, yeah. Damon.
Well, this isn't very original, but I got Josh Berry.
Jeez, 3 for 3. Dylan, who you looking at?
Do it.
Josh Berry.
No. I had two. I've had two on my mind all weekend. All week, actually. Yeah, I'll do it. Sam Mayer. He gets his first win.
Go Ty Gibbs.
I was thinking that.
I mean, I can see it. I do think it's going to be a first-time winner, but it's not going to be Sam Mayer. I think it's going to be Ryan Truex. He's going to finally come through and get it done.
My other guy, I was going to go with Chandler Smith. I was just
I can see it.
I was a little iffy there, but that's all.
It wouldn't be a bad pick, though.
Yeah. All right, now moving to the Cup Series. the best race of the weekend. Probably not. But it'll be Sunday, April 16th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, FS1. If you want to watch it, if you want to listen to it, just MRN. It's the NOCO 400 for 400 laps, 210 miles. I think the weather is not looking too good, but there is lights at the track, so that's positive. So, who's going to
We
suck?
got wet tires.
Oh yeah. Well, if it's raining, they won't race, but if it's
Right.
wet, they'll race. Who's going to suck, Hunter?
This pains me, but I do think Chase is going to struggle in his first race back.
That's good. Stab Boy
I'm gonna go with Bubba Wallace.
and David.
I got Daniel Suarez sucking.
And Mitch.
I'm gonna go with Ryan Priest. I think every time he gets kind of in his head like this, I think he's gonna kind of implode.
For myself, I'm gonna go with. You don't have the wall anymore, so Ross Chastain is gonna suck this week.
Could see it.
who needs a good run, Hunter?
I think you're going to see Chase Briscoe with a good run. He looked really good in the fall there, up until he got passed by Christopher Bell. But I think Briscoe's going to have a good run this week.
I like that pick, actually. Stab Boy.
I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott. I think he's a top 15.
I think that would be a good run. So I like that.
I agree with that.
Damon.
First, I did look at the weather. It looks pretty bad for every day but Saturday. But as my good run, I have Stenhouse.
We just run it Saturday night after Xfinity then.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
never do that. Mitch.
I got Kevin Harvick having a good run. I think he built on a lot of momentum there, somehow bringing home a top 10 at Bristol. We've seen the short track package be better. I think that benefits Harvick. I think he's going to have a good run.
For myself, I'm going to go with someone who has like 3 top 15s in a row and a car that I didn't think it was possible. But Todd Gilliland's going to have another good run this week. And who's going to win, Hunter?
I'm in a little bit of a toss-up right now, but I'm leaning. I think William Byron gets another one this week.
That's interesting.
Establishes some dominance in Hendrick.
Oh, yeah. Stab Boy?
Oh, this is gonna pay me to say it, but Joey Logano.
We've seen speed out of them there.
Damon?
Me and Hunter are on one today. I got William Byron.
And Mitch?
I'm out of the box a little bit here. I think we're going to see a wild race. I think it's going to be crazy. I think we're going to see a lot of pushing and shoving, maybe a couple paybacks. I think we're going to see a first-time winner. It's going to be Noah Gragson.
Oh, my God. Holy cow.
Common, but there's no Ty Gibbs.
That's the last.
Oh, no, there's Ty Gibbs in that one.
Yeah.
Forgot Ty Gibbs is.
I really don't know. All right, screw it. Just give me Hamlin. I think he should have won Richmond. I think he had the fastest car. If he didn't screw himself. Plus, this is his wheelhouse. So, I think this would be a good race for him. He gets first win of the season.
He's got good short track racing.
Yeah.
That's good Virginia racing.
Yeah, Virginia. He's from Virginia. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Young boy, I'm just going to say this for you real quick. If Byron doesn't win it, I think Bowman gets it done.
I think so.
I really think Larson's going to be strong.
Bowman will win in the next.
I low-key almost went with Ty Gibbs as a first-time winner.
Yeah,
He's gonna piss somebody off this week and get dumped.
I
know.
almost went with it.
Yeah, I mean that 3 top. Is that 4 top 10s in a row? Yeah, 9,
I
10,
think 4, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I wanna like
impressive.
him. I want to like him.
Honestly,
He's
that's really
talented.
impressive because the last couple of years our rookies have struggled.
Yeah.
When it comes to like
Ever since Custer, really. I mean, the only performance that we've seen out of our rookies the past, 10 years is Custer, technically.
Yeah.
Cindric was
Well,
probably better than him.
Chase was good. He just never.
Well, yeah, Cinder too. Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, that's true. Performance-wise, Chase by far. But
Chase, I mean, he was top 10 every week. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Custer just drove like he was a rookie every week.
Yeah, and then he just lucked out to a Kentucky.
we got lucky.
Wins
Yeah.
a 4 wide at Kentucky.
Literally, the craziest
amazing.
finish that track has
Never
ever
happened.
seen.
That was an amazing race, though.
That was the last Kentucky race, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's leave it like that. That track is hot doo doo.
Now, I will say, so from
Well, the
Kentucky,
new cars make it better though.
I think these cars would actually improve the racing so much. I will say,
I agree.
I think that they should never, ever repaved it. But that's just me. I think the old slick racetrack was so good to watch. Even though the passing was kind of rare,
Bro.
it was fun to literally see them like move all over the track at Kentucky. So,
Bro, do you remember
Bro,
that one time?
The hits we had at Kentucky, imagine in the new car.
dude,
That's true though, because we had seen a lot of hard hits at Kentucky.
yes.
A lot.
For some reason, I thought you guys were saying like baseball stuff for a second. I was about to say home run.
Do you remember when Kozlowski bumped Johnson and Johnson drifted all the way through 1 and 2?
Yeah.
That was sick. That was a sick drift.
And honestly, I think
JFJ.
4 wide Kentucky is not the best finish.
I think the best asphalt drift we have ever seen though is Casey Kane, by far.
Where?
Or no, I'm sorry, not Casey Kane. Jamie Mack. Yeah, Jamie Mack. Vegas. When I think it was Logano that got into him.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
That was 2011, right?
that was by far the
2009.
best asphalt drift.
2019 was definitely the best finish when it comes to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the Bush versus Bush, that was good.
That track put on some good finishes. As much as the racing sucked, you take Logano, Bush. Like 2015, they had a good
yeah,
one.
there was definitely snoozers, but there was definitely some good ones. I feel like that's just every track, really.
It
Edwards,
is crazy though when
Kozlowski, fuel mileage one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
20.
That's 16.
yeah.
No,
I
that
think
was
12.
that was the NBC era. I know that.
I'm about
That
to
was
ask a
2016.
potentially
yeah.
stupid
Okay,
question.
I'm thinking of the first one that he won. That was
The first
2012.
one you've asked.
Where did Kurt Busch win last year? What racetrack?
Kansas.
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 Was it Kansas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in
Okay.
You know what was crazy about that day?
That was his first ever win there.
I was married that day.
Oh, I didn't get invited.
I
Been there.
Been there.
Damon, you can come to mine.
Thank you.
You don't want that.
I might accidentally steal your wife from you, so.
Yo, chill, dog. Chill. She might watch this.
Yeah, no. Fuck no.
I don't even know what to say. I was
Who wouldn't watch us? I mean,
literally.
I mean, we got
Hey
like
man,
6.
I brought in a couple of viewers tonight.
Yeah, I know.
We know there's 6 that do like to watch us.
Yeah, that was crazy.
this stuff's better than porn, bro. Like,
So for one, let's talk about moving forward in the next couple of weeks of our podcast. We may or may not have a special guest next week. So if you're rewatching this, please join back live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday night again. We could have something really cool that we didn't think that was possible just yet, or things may not work out, but it is looking that way. The week after that, I will not be in town, obviously, so we will not cover over Talladega, or we wouldn't also have picks for Dover. So what I would like to do next week is we'll do 2 picks for the next 2 weeks. I don't know the entry list. I don't know anything. So if we say we pick this driver,
And then not racing
and then
or
not
whatnot.
race,
Yeah.
that'll be weird, but
yeah.
that's okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So I think we
pick
just
2.
do winners. That for Dover. So no like
Yeah.
who's gonna suck or whatever. And then we'll be back fully. I'll actually probably have a new look at that point. I may even have a new look next week. Into what my
A new look.
Getting a haircut.
back-
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Oh,
yeah. I'm thinking like, what's the look? Like,
He's gonna
yeah,
shave.
tan or-
Dude,
He's gonna shave.
throwing the Chase stash out.
No, yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
probably
get
will
the
have
chase
him be
stash
like,
for the
yeah.
wedding, dude. I don't think you understand.
I'd get the different one.
Give me 2 weeks. I'm gonna have the Chase stash going.
I'm gonna show up with a Chase Elliott tie.
I'd freaking lose it. By the way,
Hooters Chase Elliott tie.
that's Hooters full on, like the owl and everything. I don't know what else. Is there anything that y'all would like to talk about? By the way, Larson or Casey Kane got the top 75 drivers.
I don't understand that one. I'm not gonna lie. I may have drunk argued with Copenhagen about that last night.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting the viewpoints that they're looking at. I mean, Casey Kane, it's like, sure, I guess, Same with Randy LaJoy. I mean, I was a little shocked. Like, I get it, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like there's better. So
yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
I mean, legit. What did he do in Cup? Like, that's the.
It's gonna be interesting to see who's not in it.
But I understand they shouldn't
not in it.
Right, and I think you should look at NASCAR as a whole. Like in terms of like Ron Hornaday, by far, because he did a lot for NASCAR in terms of trucks, and or other series as well. But exactly, you know what I mean. So I think you need to look at all three series for sure. But at the same time, I still think there's better to be looked at. So I don't know.
No, I feel like you have to look at it. So I agree. I think you add the other series in there.
But at a small percentage.
You look at their Cup performance, because that is the highest level of of NASCAR, right? So you're looking for the best 75 drivers of all time, and I understand that some just didn't have the opportunity to move up,
right?
But also that's maybe because they just didn't have it either. I mean,
I agree.
I'm ready to see the whole list. I want to see who they put as quote unquote number one. I have my own opinion on it.
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
I think the top three are easy.
I think in order. I think the top three is easy. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Jimmy Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Richard Petty.
No, Rich.
No, hell no. He won when there was no you're only fighting against another driver. Like Hale,
yeah. And then on top of that as well, back then in those times, they used to run like 60, 70 race schedules. So they would win a lot because they were racing the same track literally 3-4 times in a row at times sometimes. That's not a lie either.
I didn't know that. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little thrown with the Gordon. I mean, I understand.
Whoa!
I'm thrown with the Gordon over Petty, I should say. And the only reason although I say that about Petty, I think that, I don't know, Petty, I think just still did more than Gordon, just in general.
Petty though, Gordon sparked the sport again because he gave somebody else to cheer for other than Dale. Like he gave the people an alternate a choice. Like you're a Dale fan or you're a Gordon fan. It almost divided. Happy. What'd you say? Don't blame my bad.
He also gave him the choice to be happy if you're a Gordon fan.
I mean, I see what you're saying. And going back to what we talked about earlier, the rivalries are huge for our sport, especially a rivalry like that. They didn't really ever go out and wreck each other, but at the same time, you knew that they were going to race each other very hard, around each other and whatnot. I don't know. I guess I was just thrown off by hearing Gordon.
The one thing I will say about the NASCAR 75, if LaJoy's on it, Robbie Gordon better be on it. I said it here. You heard it here first. I said it.
Lord.
All I gotta say is I know if Randy LaJoy's on there, Dale
Corey LaJoy will be on it. Oh, yeah. We went different with that.
See, all right, but going back to that though, do you not think that, in terms Ron Hornaday should be a part of it?
I would say Ron Hornaday is top 75 most talented NASCAR drivers of all time.
Now, I will say, if you move in that direction, okay, in my opinion, you have to pick every champion that's ever had a Cup Series champion. Okay, like that is your top. That is your top of the list,
and I can see that.
and then you go down to your next, right? And whatever fills the 75, you have to look at the most wins.
I mean,
the most.
Go.
You have to look at
Top performances.
of Cup Series, and then you add their other stats in.
Right.
So if Ron Hornaday makes it in, that's because that there wasn't enough Cup champions.
Cup, right.
Yeah.
mhm.
But I think
And I understand it from that point of view. But so look at it this way: who would you rather have, Ron or LaJoy?
I think Ron.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. Ron did so much more. I mean, Ron was a dominant force in the trucks, and on top of that, had an okay Xfinity career, and I mean, he was consistent in trucks or Cup.
Yeah.
Can't talk.
I'm going to bring another controversial viewpoint on the NASCAR 75. If Larson's in, does Chase Elliott get in already?
Yeah, he's a champion.
Absolutely.
I think this is
Chase is Hall
personally.
of Fame already.
I think Chase Elliott wins more championships. I don't think this is. I think
agree.
one is just it.
I agree. I think he wins 3 by the end of it.
And I don't. But I think Larson. I know he's very talented. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to championship mentality, he just doesn't have the same mentality as like him. Now I'm saying that Larson is better when it comes to overall raw talent. But what I'm saying is stock car mentality, championship performance, they don't match well.
Yeah.
Right?
Chase does better over 36, but if you gave me a one-on-one race and just put those two on the track, I'll take Larson.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I agree with that as well. Yeah.
But if he makes it to the championship 4, isn't that what it is? It's one race. Like I feel like if Larson makes it to the championship 4, it's almost his championship to lose.
So I think
if you don't have a caution 2021, he doesn't win the championship.
I think it's only right though that KFB makes the top 75 3 times for each series.
No,
I think that's only right. That's
fair.
only right.
Now I will say if you look at it like that, top 70. Okay, if you look over it at all,
I mean, he has the most wins in both of those.
I think he's number 1 top driver of all time.
I agree.
Where do you just like strictly like where do you rank Kyle Busch?
Like right this second?
Yeah, of all time.
He's 5th.
I was gonna say 5th. I like that.
I would say 4th personally.
I think Richard's up above only just because of where he put the sport. I think you look at it in a sense of like not only just his driving talent. Okay, now if you look at it just driving talent, I think he's above.
Oh, by far, he's above probably everybody driving talent.
Personally, I think he's above Jimmy. I mean, that's
just, by far.
I would agree.
But when it comes to like overall, I think top 5: Jimmy, Senior, Gordon, Richard Petty, Kyle Busch, and then you go to David Pearson, right there. I think that's your 6, and then you move. This could be a hot take. I think you move Harvick next.
I mean, I agree. He's right there as well.
Well, Harvick and Tony kind of flip flop. But
I was thinking Tony. I was like, I don't know if I can put him above Tony.
So
are you kidding me though?
Yeah, I put Tony over Harvick.
In terms of full NASCAR, all 3 series, I think Harvick outshines by far.
Well, you can't. It's hard to do all 3 series because there's so many more races that Harvick's done in them.
Harvick doesn't win a championship without Tony.
It's facts.
I mean, you might not be wrong on that, but at the same time, I still think he leaves RCR.
I
still think he goes somewhere else.
Where does he? Where else would he go besides if Tony wasn't around?
I
don't know. I don't see that because he still had beef with Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot see him in anything else. Hendrick, honestly.
I literally can't see him anything else with Stewart Haas or RCR. I don't think he would go anywhere else.
What was open at that time is the thing.
That's true too, which wasn't much.
Was Hendrick open at that time, or was Kyle already?
No.
Was Kyle already there?
Yeah, 2013, you had a full stacked Hendrick Motorsports.
Or no, 2013. Oh yeah, that's when he left RCR. So who was at Hendrick at that point?
Kane Jr., Johnson, Gordon.
Yeah.
Kane. Yeah, I forgot about Kane.
You're not moving
Yeah,
that.
no.
That
Yeah, he wasn't even an option. Yeah.
I think you moved Kane for that. What the heck was that?
That boy? What was that?
Now, the reason why I
Um,
say you don't move Casey Kane is just because, um,
see,
at
I'm
that
kind of
point-
shocked Kane is in. I'm shocked he's in.
He was one hell of a race car driver for a little. He had a good
I mean,
peak.
yeah, he was great, but the only thing he did was win crown jewels. That's the most he did with his career.
okay, if that's the case, Jamie Murray making it?
No, absolutely not, and he shouldn't. There's no reason he should.
How many cup wins does he have? Like 10, 12?
No,
4?
I think he has
5?
six right?
Yeah, it's
That's it?
Are we talking about
No way
Murray or Kane?
McMurray.
McMurray.
No way
Okay.
McMurray makes it at that point then.
Yeah, no, McMurray should not. Yeah.
How many has Kane won? He's probably won like 21.
He's
maybe?
probably got like 18.
Yeah,
20,
something.
20,
16, 18.
I was just say I don't know if he hit the 20 mark.
Stat boy.
I
I think he could be. I think he's probably like 24.
I'm interested to
Max.
see who doesn't make the list. When I see a big name make it and you got Casey fucking Kane in there,
That's what I'm saying. And then we got LaJoy. And that's why I'm saying that, like, I think it needs to be either a clear cut method, either the top 75 of Cup, period, sure. Or
I think it's
top
of
75
NASCAR.
of NASCAR, period, sure.
I think it's NASCAR period. Because
And that's fine. And at that point, I think it should be like the top 50 should be all Cup. And then like 10 Xfinity and
well, didn't they just do a couple years ago?
I guess
the
like
top
15
like
Xfinity,
50
10
Cup drivers
trucks.
ever.
yeah.
So
I
I think
I think that was solely based on like stat wise though, like wins and championships and so forth.
I think Randy LaJoy. If it's NASCAR in total, then Randy LaJoy definitely deserves to be there. But if it's not, even if it's like that, Casey Kane, then I don't think deserves to be there. I'm so like, if you see like the guys that are making it, like Randy LaJoy made it, and Larson's already made it, which granted how the list was looking, it looks like he deserves it, but that just shows like how many. There was too many top people that took away from probably good careers, so they don't sound like top drivers. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Johnson dominated, Gordon dominated, Senior dominated, Petty dominated.
Or does it make this era like more impressive with how competitive it is compared to how it like?
I'd definitely say this era is more impressive, just skill. I feel like your grandpa could drive in the 80s and be fine.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I don't think that necessarily means that the people we have more skill. I just think that
they're asked to do more.
We're putting them in a position where they have to be more talented.
You really see like you're putting them on road courses and dirt when they used to just be they're racing on Daytona Beach. Yeah, like that stuff. Now they're racing everywhere. They're racing across at some points across multiple countries, like Japan that used to race at, Canada.
Yeah. Track wise, we're definitely getting to our most, or not. I won't say our most because we used to run like 60 races back in the day, but we're getting to a really good diverse area. I think
almost variety of
exactly, and I think it really sets us up to see who is the best. Who can do this over the amount of a full 36 season with a full mixture, not just running 18.5 miles. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good direction that we're going in regarding that. I forgot where I was going with that.
I just think the NASCAR 75 is just going to be a popularity contest, personally. And just because, I mean, if I look at the top 75 drivers, I just don't think of Casey Kane. I agree. I don't think of Randy LaJoy.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I don't even think of Ron Hornaday because there's some, like, not saying that I don't think he should deserve it. That's not what I'm saying.
Right. But in terms of Cup, right.
But, like, when I think of 75 top drivers, like, I mean, look how many Cup champions there is already, right? And then you add on to the people that hasn't won a championship, but like are very talented.
Right, like your Mark Martins and your Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, right.
Carl Edwards at that point, which still also accomplished a lot in all three series.
Exactly. So I just don't see where. I don't know where their brain's at. Obviously, this is probably multiple people betting on or voting on this.
Right.
But it's just stupid. I
agree. The math isn't adding up for it all.
Math ain't mathing.
That's for sure. Anyways, I think we ended off there. That was a good conversation about Nascar 75. I can't wait till the full list is out. We can definitely talk about the whole list and what we agree or disagree. I don't know if they'll actually put it in order. I don't even know if that'll be a thing, but they'll
They
definitely.
keep saying that it's going to be not in any particular order, but I feel like it's going to be somewhat.
I mean,
in
you're
order.
definitely gonna have your 7-time champions in the top 3.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see what that looks like, and what if I'm wrong, right? Like, what if I'm overthinking it? But who knows? We'll see. Anything you'd like to say, Rib, before you leave?
Fun podcast. Glad Hunter joined us.
Oh yes.
Hope you continue coming. This is fun.
Yeah.
Excited for next week. Hopefully, with a special guest. That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all for having me. It was definitely fun. Look forward to making as many Thursdays as I can. This was
for
fun
sure.
experience.
I like it.
You're not a guest anymore. I think you fit in well. So just know that you're welcome anytime. So
yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
I'm gonna take a picture and put it on my freaking fridge for my mom.
Class picture.
Take a screenshot of this.
Anyways,
Make this your background every time you log in.
Give me a
every
second.
time he logs in to watch porn, he just sees our face.
I'm not even gonna watch porn anymore. I'm just gonna look at my screensaver
Jesus.
with the boys.
bless up, baby.
Well,
I'll do our favorites outro. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to watch next week live 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Tell your grandmas, your cousins,
Absolutely.
everyone that you know.
Tell your sister.
All the grandmas.
yeah.
All the grandmas.
all the grandmas. If they're dead, wake them up.
Wake them up.
Wake 'em
Shake
up.
them. You know,
Shake
do
'em.
what you gotta do.
All right, peace out.